Hello, I'm ArchieLuxury and welcome to the program. Today I'd like to talk about growing up in the 80s. That's right, growing up in the 80s. And Archie was born in 72 and he was 10 years old in 1980 and 20 at 1990. So, you know, the 80s was a huge time for shaping Archie. And, you know, I got to say this to you. Archie's a man of his times, and you know, I look at society today, I look at Y-Gen, and I see so many, they're evil, mean fuckers, and it's partly to do with the time that these kids grew up with. See, when Archie was a kid, greed was good. That's right, greed was good. And everyone's aim in life was to have a BMW. And if you were really, really super successful, you got a 928 Porsche. And, you know, society has changed so much. And I think, you know, you look at kids these days and you can see why they've turned out to be utter mean, nasty fuckers. And it's because the times that they grew up in. See, when Archie was a lad, greed was good. There was movies like Born on the 4th of July, and that told you not to believe any bullshit that the government threw up about wars. You know, you want to go and fight in Nam? Well, do it yourself, you know. As they said in Born on the 4th of July, you believe that Vietnam bullshit? And that's a very, very true statement. And the other thing is, I mean, you know, the style Bible back in the 80s, you know, late 80s, and I can remember when Bret Easton Ellis's book was released, American Psycho! That's right, that was the Bible, the fashion Bible for ArchieLuxury, American Psycho. And, you know, in American Psycho, all you really needed was a Platinum American Express card. And your biggest aim was to get a solid gold day-date 18-carat Rolex with diamond dial. I mean, that was it. American Psycho said that was the best watch in the world. There was no Patek or VC, Vacherons or Audemars, you know. All you needed was a day-date Rolex, and you just used American Psycho as your fashion manual. And that's very sad now, you know. Even the TV shows at the time, Family Ties with Alex P. Keating, and you know, it was you know, with Michael J. Fox in it, and they were cool programs, you know. Greed was good. If you wanted to do something kind, if you were a kind person, you aspired to an Audi. That's right, an Audi instead of the obnoxious BMW or a Mercedes. And times have changed. Times have changed, you know, and this is the sad thing. These role models are no longer there. And, you know, Wall Street, and also, you know, you learnt very quickly, shut your mouth if you're being investigated for stock fraud. Shut your mouth. Say nothing. Tell them to come and sue me. Because the number of people who've been in prison for white-collar crimes, I can count on one hand. And you just got to shut your mouth. That's the secret. And, you know, times were a lot easier then. Greed was good. You know, the Reagan era was running strong, and you know, we had no George W. Bush in the White House. You know, the sun hadn't come out yet, and you know, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. I look back on those times there, and they were an innocent time. Greed was good. We had aspirations. I mean, the yuppies. Yuppies was the cult movement of the time. I mean, we all wanted to be upwardly mobile professionals, driving our 3 Series, wearing our Rolex, and telling people to fuck off. And, you know, yuppies it's gone from being, you know, it was like being a hippie in the 60s. In the 80s, you wanted to be a yuppie. And it's just so sad. It's so sad. You know, those days are gone. You wanted your little 3 Series BMW. You wanted to put your Louis Vuitton suitcase in the back, and let's be honest there, once you did actually get your Louis Vuitton suitcase, you realised that the fucking 3 Series, nothing fucking fitted. You know, this is just the fallacy of the dream. But, you know, these were an easier time. And it's very, very sad. You know, going into the early 90s, there was Seinfeld to give you direction. There was Beverly Hills 90210. And what was the name? You know, the girl, one of the really good, Kelly. Kelly drove the gold BMW E30 325i convertible. I mean, this was your fashion manual, you know? It was easy to see what you wanted and what you wanted to do, and you know, you'd believe retailers. You'd actually go into a retail store to buy an expensive fountain pen. Now you do an eBay search. Times have changed, and it's not all for the good, I'm sorry. You know, for everything, as I was talking to a good friend yesterday, for everything you gain, you lose something, and that's how it goes there. The 80s. American Psycho. Yuppies. It's a very sad time. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think.